And right now on Capitol Hill, Mike Waltz is testifying before the Senate at his confirmation hearing to be the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations. The role has been vacant for 6 months and has left the U.S. without a top representative on a major world stage. If confirmed, he would fill the last spot of President Trump's cabinet. I want to bring in CBS News congressional correspondent Caitlin Huey-Burns, who is monitoring that hearing for us. Caitlin, what kind of questioning is Waltz facing during this hearing so far?
Well, Mugo, you may remember Mike Waltz because he was the president's top national security advisor and essentially got caught up in that Signalgate controversy, you may remember, where top officials were sharing sensitive information over Signal, and a reporter was accidentally invited onto that platform and was part of that chat. So that is really a central line of questioning from the Democrats on this panel. They are wanting to know more about that incident because this is the first time that Mike Waltz is talking about this under oath at this confirmation hearing. I want to play a little bit of one of those exchanges that he had with Senator Tim Kaine of Virginia.
On the question of whether classified information was shared, there are at least 2 DOD investigations. One, the DOD IG, and the second, Air Force, an investigation ongoing into whether Secretary Hegseth shared classified information. My understanding is those are ongoing. They haven't yet reached a conclusion, but they certainly haven't reached the conclusion that no classified information is shared. Am I wrong about that?
Senator, thank you for the question. I shouldn't and can't comment on ongoing investigations. What I can do is echo Secretary Hegseth's testimony that no names, targets, locations, units, routes, sources, methods, no classified information from his perspective was shared.
I got it. I'm sure Secretary Hegseth says he didn't share any classified information, but the fact of the matter is there are 2 investigations going on at the Pentagon precisely to determine in an objective and independent way whether classified information was shared.
Now, that line, no classified information was shared, is something that Waltz echoed in terms throughout the hearing when he was asked about this. He is referring to an independent investigation, Inspector General investigation within the Department of Defense that has been looking into this. We have not seen that report. It has not been released. We don't know much about when it will be released, but that has been ongoing, and that could either back up what Waltz and Hegseth are saying or raise more questions. We just don't know, and we'll wait and see for that report.
Okay. Caitlin, I also want to ask you about the Senate because they could move as soon as today on President Trump's request to cancel billions in foreign aid funding, I should say, to NPR and PBS. But does it have enough support to actually pass, for this to actually happen?
Yeah, so this is a hunk of money that Congress had already approved that the White House wants them to essentially disapprove. They want to claw back that money. It's about $9.5 billion. The bulk of that is on foreign aid. Remember, USAID was dissolved, moved under the State Department. This is going to address a big part of that. And one specific issue within foreign aid is relating to PEPFAR, that global HIV/AIDS prevention program, and that's something that has long had bipartisan support. It was first proposed by President George W. Bush and has been approved by Congress a few times since then. The rescission's request from the White House cuts that funding, and there are a couple Republican lawmakers who are concerned about that specific provision. The other item of concern that we have some new reporting on, Mugo, is that we've been talking about some of the concerns among some Republicans from rural states about these cuts to public broadcasting. Not necessarily NPR and PBS, but the stations that they operate on. In some rural areas, that is a key access point for information for their constituents. So there were some questions about that. We have just learned that Mike Rounds, the senator from South Dakota, has now come out and said he will support this rescissions package because he has secured some grants for tribal radio stations in his state, and that has satisfied his concerns that he originally had. He said he worked with the White House and OMB Director Russ Vought, who will be actually on the Hill Hill momentarily to meet with lawmakers. So we're waiting to see what other kinds of deals have essentially been struck or will be struck to get this across the finish line. The deadline is Friday.
All right, Caitlin Huey-Burns, thank you so much for that update. Appreciate your time today.